What's the tone for pang? Huh? Pang. 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 Dam. Dam. Ew. 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 Dang. Dang. 静。静。静啊。静。台语有静啊吗？台语有感叹词说啊静啊静啊。刚刚我是跟 Amanda 谈到嘿嘿嘿 ，How do you transcribe 嘿？你要怎么 transcribe 嘿？哦，我说 transcription 那个 IPA， 然后是 hen 是像母鸡的 hen 呢，还是 hen Okay, so it's H, it's her, and then he, right? Now, what's the tone for he? He. 是33吗？ he, 哎 he, he, 3131 good, he. I have an American friend who loves to hear me saying hey and hey ya. Hey ya. Isn't that cute? Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Okay, so their sandy tones are pang pang, dam dam, ew ew. Is it easy for you to remember the tone sandy circle? Yeah, it's actually, 3-3 turns to 3-1, and then 5-5 goes to 3-3. The only thing that's a little bit unnatural is the 3-1 changing into 5-1. You have it feels easier when you have a high tone changing into a low tone, but when the low tone changes into a high tone, sometimes it casts more processing demand to your brain. So that's kind of interesting. And dang dang jing 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 jing. Later you're gonna have a task of figuring out the tone for double reduplication. When I say double reduplication, this is one reduplication, right? You have one reduplication. Have you heard of, how do you describe? Yeah. Pang pang pang. How about this one? Dum dum dum. What? The first syllable in you 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 and the first syllable in those two previous ones, are they the same? 不一样哎。Pang, dum, you, and then this one. 当当当，跟前面第一个跟第二个又一样了，对不对 ？And then this one. Yes. And from a linguistic point of view, I think that's one of the reasons why. Of course, when Kuomintang came to Taiwan, they are the group of people who's in charge. So they designated Mandarin as the official language. So everybody has to speak Mandarin, right? But why is it that less people master Taiwan? Why is it Mandarin? It's harder for Mandarin speaker to acquire Taiwanese as a second language. It's because of this nasty sandy pattern. It's really difficult. Try someone who does not speak Taiwanese at all and try to give them these sandy forms. I can bet you $100 they can't do it. They mostly likely would retain the citation form, 就是那个原来的那个 form, and then just do it with two identical repetition. So, okay, that's our tone, Taiwanese tone. I'm sorry I don't know much about Hakka tone, but next time I teach phonetics and phonology, I might include Hakka tone. We're focusing on Mandarin, but remember last week I was going to talk to you about the languages in the Philippines. I thought I'd show you some of the picture that I have from the Philippines. I like the way they sell taro. What's taro? 芋头. You see, they don't cut the upper part out of it, and they sell it in a bundle. And this is their grocery store. And I like the boat and the children there. But I mostly want you to know that I just want to talk about languages. So when you think about the languages in the Philippines, you can divide it into 3 regions. Luzon is the part that we know. This is one of the biggest islands of the Philippines. And the middle part is called Visayas. And they actually have different first language. And then Mindanao. So they have these 3 regions. And most of the places Taiwanese people go would be Cebu, C-E-B-U, Su'u, Cebu, and then Changtan-dao. I don't know the English name for it. And then Manila is right there at the blue spot. And their official language is Tagalog. It's also known as Filipino. And if you go to a library in any major city in the States, you won't be able to find teaching material for Taiwanese, but you will find teaching material for Tagalog. And of course, English is also an official language. And Ilocano is another language spoken in the Luzon area. So before I went to the Philippines, I was thinking, oh, well, English is one of the official languages, so they should be able to understand me. And there was this one day I came back from a long field trip. I went to collect insects. And then I went back to our tiny hotel, if you can call it, but I don't have the key. And I was cold and I was hungry. And I was sitting outside of the hotel waiting for my friends to come back. And this tiny lady, old lady, approached me and then go, blah, 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 start talking in, I believe, in Visayas. I was on this island. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't speak, I thought she was speaking in Tagalog, but it's not. In different regions, they have their different local languages. And then I managed to make her understand that I am cold. I wonder if there's a place, a coffee shop, a place I can go to rest. And she go, oh, yeah. And she brought me to this tiny hut. And it's apparently a grocery store. And I saw some eggs, raw. They just sell eggs piece by piece. And in that village, we didn't have much food with us when we went to that village. So I was thinking, oh, if I can have 7 hot-boiled eggs for me and my partners, it would be a nice addition to our dinner. 我想要买7个水煮蛋. But it's so difficult to explain. Including I want to buy the egg, 7 of them, that's easy, and I need them to cook it for me. So I was like, I couldn't make them understand that I need them to cook it for me. So I was like, and they're like, no. And then I go, oh, okay. They understand I need it cooked. So I go, can you put egg in the water and then cook? I go, okay. And then I fell asleep. 15 minutes later, I woke up. In front of me, there's a soup with 7 poached eggs. That was fun. I love that story. So, Tagalog also offers excellent language material. Here's a little bit of morphology for you. I have to mention Larry. He's our guide in the Philippines. And then he can do all kinds of things that we cannot think of. But most important of all, 4 entomologists went on that trip. But Larry is the best collector among us all. There are like 3 PhDs in entomology and 1 master holder of entomology. But Larry's collecting skill is way better than us. And then sometimes we'll see a firefly in the forest. This is in the middle of the night. We'll see a firefly spot in the forest. Well, for the very wimpy of us, we didn't want to just run into the forest, To collect fireflies, you cannot turn on the flashlight. You have to just go and then collected. And we were like, maybe we'll give that up. And then Larry would go, blah, and then he would disappear for like 10 minutes and come back with that firefly. And then he can climb coconut trees, like 6-meter high coconut trees. One time we were really thirsty, and then he disappeared again, came back with 4 coconuts. It's just toward the end. I mean, I remember the last day when we were partying, or we were gonna be parted with Larry. I shook his hand and I say, "It's my honor to have met you." It's just his attitude of life and all the things I know about him. It's just make you realize the people in the Philippines could be very poor, but they try their best. And I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional. Good job, Larry. Good job, Larry. But we want to talk about Tagalog. Okay, this is just an example of the Tagalog speaking in Manila. And if you look at the syllable structure of Tagalog, can you find, well, we're not going to get into the syllable structure today, so this is just an example. I want to show you the morphology. Okay, from your intro class, we learned about there are 4 different major kind of affixes. You can have prefix, you can have suffix, these 2 you're familiar with. How about infix and circumflex? Have you heard of infix before? Huh? You insert it in the middle of the word. That's called infix. And then circumflex is your affix has 2 components. You add the front part at the front of the word and the later part at the end of the word. That's really cool. But Tagalog provide a really good infix example. And here's a problem set for you. So we're looking at the past tense of Tagalog. It's in the form of infix. If you want to say to help, can you try pronounce the word as if it's an IPA? To help? Too long. Yeah, it's not IPA. NG is the ingma, too long. And then helped will become too long. And then to buy is Billy. Bought is Bumili. Now, can you guess what searched and wrote will be? So apparently something's added into the word to make it a past tense. What's added? Right? But is it or mu? If you just look at help. It could be mu, but you work your hypothesis over other words. If it's mu, this one should be different, right? So then you realize, oh, it's not the mu. So where do you add it? It's not a random place. There's a place that you added. 你觉得会是你要插在什么地方？什么？ Behind the first consonant. Yay! So searched should become humanap. And then wrote should be sumulat. Yeah. So this is infix. And we usually use Tagalog as our example. That's it for Tagalog. We're back to Mandarin. We're going to go through some of the problematic ones. For those who have learned Hanyu Pinyin before, can you tell us which ones are the problematic ones for you? Zhi, number 18. Okay. Is there some symbol that just looks so bizarre to you? 西很奇怪吧? 西很奇怪. 七也很奇怪. So number 13, 14. 这两个都不好记，所以我特别要跟你们说，你们要把它记起来。知好记吗？西、鸡、七、西都不好记吧？哦，鸡。Do you think 12 is okay? G, J, G, okay. 13, 14, I hate 13. I usually make mistakes. I have a friend whose family name is 曲高和寡的曲. How do you transcribe 曲 in pinyin? Use Q-U, Q-I-U. You see, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at Q. I thought it's just Q-U. Luckily, I found you an excellent website. Q-U, yay! 曲 U. So, you see, in this case, the U stands for the U sound. That's the part about 汉语拼音. It sometimes could be a little bit confusing. So sometimes people put 2 dots. If you want to show it's a U, you can put 2 dots on top of the U sound to symbol that it's the U sound, not the UU sound. Okay, so that shows the 曲 is difficult. Anything else that's problematic to you? 12 to 14. So guys, these are problematic ones. She is so difficult. I have some friends from America who's trying to learn Mandarin, and then look at this. Xing, but they want to do zing. Zing. Yeah, and xing. And 支持师. Oh, here's a cue. You see all those retroflexes. 支持师, they all have the H with them. So 支持师. And then 支持师 and 机器师 are pairs. One has retroflex and the other one doesn't. So the one that does not have retroflex does not have the H, and the one that has the retroflex has the H. So with that, it should be easy. So I think these are the problematic ones, 13 through 21. If you can master those, it'll be fine. 19 and 20.
When I was learning it, it's like the Z, right? So I kept wanting to say like zebra, like kind of sound.
Yeah, okay. This is one of the problems. People who do not like 汉语拼音 have the problem, because the problem is you look at the Z sound and you're so, I mean, you have learned, those people probably have learned English for years, and you look at the Z sound, you want to say Z. And you look at the SH sound in number 17, you want to say ship, right? If I write this word intuitively, you probably want to do like she, but it's shi. Yeah, so the problem of having the Latin alphabet representing Chinese sounds could be confusing. But if you look at /p/m/f, they're designed specifically for Mandarin, so it's a 1-to-1 mapping. There's no ambiguity of how you pronounce which. So that's one of the reasons why some people prefer /p/m/f than Hanyu. But in the Western world, nobody's digitizing /p/m/f, so you just have to learn Hanyu pinyin. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. Okay, those are the consonants. Now let's look at the vowels and rhymes in Mandarin. Okay, any of this which look difficult to you? I found yu a bit confusing sometimes. This is the yu as in my 语文, right? In IPA, we only use Y, but in 汉语拼音, you need to add the U sound, the U alphabet, to make it look more like a real syllable. But how do you pronounce this in 汉语拼音? Yan. So in 汉语拼音, Y can stand for yu sound. It can also stand for the ya sound. Yan, yi. Sorry, not ya, yi. 它可以是 yi, 又可以是 yu. So it depends on whether there's a u following it. It could be yu or yan, yi sound. So you just have to be careful with that. And I think the rest is fine. So let's do a practice. Let's do the first 4 sentences in 虞美人 not that 虞美人 this 虞美人少年听雨歌楼上红烛昏罗帐壮年听雨客舟中江阔云低断雁叫西风 Go I'll give you the answer later. Here's the question. How do you mark the tone in 汉语拼音? Usually the vowel. But you see for 语, where would you mark it? Probably on top of the 语. 你看 跟 a and a has the same symbol. That's why some people don't like it. But those are the only alphabets Latin letter has, so. And it's not just Taiwanese. There are many languages in the world which does not have a writing system, and they're just forced to use the Latin alphabet. Actually, when you're doing the Chinese input, you guys use 注音符号 or what? You can switch to 汉语拼音, because 汉语拼音use the A, B, C, D, so you don't have to. It's actually amazing, guys. When we are remembering the b, p, m, f, you actually have 2 sets of your keyboard layout in your brain. 有没有？你要记得 b 在哪里 ，p 在哪里。And then you have to remember another set of the alphabet. So your mind is doing this bilingual keyboard thing. But if you use 汉语拼音, you just have to remember 1 set of the keyboard. Okay. So 一乌鱼 are the glides. Glides. Yu is not usually the glide, but in Chinese it's called 介音. It can exist between a consonant and a nucleus vowel. 有没有？你可以讲娟 君. It could exist in the middle. So in Chinese phonology, it's called 介音，可以介在 consonant 跟 vowel 中间，所以 一、乌、鱼. That's why they're kind of labeled differently. And then the rest are your rhyme, the nucleus plus the nasal consonant. Okay? And on the PowerPoint, you can find the website that you can double check with your transcription. Does this look right? Let's check. 少年听雨歌楼上，红烛昏罗帐。壮年听雨客舟中。客舟中呀，江阔云低断雁叫西风，对。Is there something that's different from your pronunciation? Which one? 听 How do you do purple muffler for 听? And then for 哦，听，听，不是说听吗？T-I-E-N-G. Oh no, you don't have to do that. 听，对，对，本来应该是 E-N-G， 对不对？ But it would be really weird if you do T-E-I. 听。So it becomes ting. Yeah, so the sound depends on Yeah, we wrote it as but it's actually 2 components. You have the and then the ingma part, right? So when you combine it with the different vowel, naturally, you have to change it into a different vowel. Do you know what I'm talking about? Although we wrote it as ting, but when you say the word, do you really think you're pronouncing a schwa sound in ting? by isolation, it's right? You have that but when you combine it together, ting, is there an in there? No. 你们知道我意思吗？这些 spelling 只是 convention， 你要照你实际上在发的音，然后把它那个拆成它的那个 nasal component 跟它的 vowel component. There's one word you should argue with me too. 然后中，等一下，怎么这么多？昏 ，What's wrong with 昏？昏有问题吗？不然应该是什么？Oh, it's the same thing, guys. On this one, okay, here's what we're gonna do. For number 35 and 36, 35 and 36, it's just because we have the corresponding ang and eng. That's why we need to transcribe it like this. But in fact, they're just ingma nasal, right? So when you say hun, I guess there's an n there, eh? Hun. Yeah. But hun. But the system, you see, that's the thing about the system. There are times that you just have to tweak some of the sound out. So for hun, it's abbreviated as just HUN. Hun. Let me double check. I don't need to apologize for the system, but it's hun. Yeah, that's just how it is. Hun. How about the rest? Zhong, what's wrong with zhong? Yeah, but it's the same thing. Guys, zhong is the same thing. We don't add the e there because the vowel in that syllable is the o sound. The n sound is not there. So you see, has some problem too. Because we have the fixed symbol for a certain kind of rhyme. So you cannot get rid of it. It's not like you can, oh, this one doesn't really have an let's cut half of it. You can't do that. So 有它的问题，汉语拼音有它的问题。所以 in these cases, you just need to remember, stick to the actual pronunciation, not the. So that's why I want you to put a parenthesis next to the a and a sound. One more thing. This is something you should argue with me. According to this, how do they pronounce it? 风。所以你们说台风还是台风？ But have you heard people say, "Oh, 风很大"? Yeah, so these are free variations. You can do both. Okay, so in your transcription, it should be F-O-N-G, and which is fine. Okay, in alteration is one of the things that you can tell whether the person is from mainland or from China or from Taiwan. Okay, so go home and practice this. And there are 4 more sentences. Okay, in the exam, I'm going to just give you this poem of like 1 sentence or 2. It shouldn't be a problem for you to write the 汉语拼音 with the correct tone mark. Okay? 考试会考哦，锵锵。And then you can check your answers on this 中文译音转换系统。Questions? Okay, we're good. We're good. 好，这样可以吗？汉语拼音 you just have to learn it. I'm not a fan of the system, but that's something you have to do. Like all adults, there are things you don't like, but you still have to do it. You should know by now that when we talk about tones, you can talk about the tone number, but actually having this kind of musical scales, 五五啊、五一啊, it's actually kind of convenient. It gives you a very clear idea of how the tone, it may start high and then go level. So sometimes we call 5/5 as a high level, high and then go level. And then tone 4 is a high falling. And then tone 2 is a low rising. And tone 3 is a low dipping. I like that. It dip down and then go up. So you can describe the tone with the tone number, the 5-point scale, or just describe the register, 就是它的音域、调域 and the level, the shape of the tone. Okay, so that's Mandarin. You should know this by now. Last time, people talk about a term that's called half-third. Did I ever talk to you about Mandarin tone, Sandy? We talk about 总统. You have 3 third tones. The first third tone have to change to tone 2. But how about the rest? When you say 总监, compare 总 and 总监. Do you think these 2 总 are slightly different? 总监有什么不一样? What's the difference between an isolation 总 and 总监? Which one is shorter? 总监, because it's in a non-final position. And then somehow you lose that going up part. When you do 总, if I exaggerate, you should do 总, right? But when you do 总监, you do 总, and you chuck it right there. That's why we call it a half-third. And sometimes when people transcribe it, they tend to do it as a yeah, I should have the Sandy tone here. 2-1 plus 5-5, 3-5, or 5-1. But for 2-1-3, the dipping one, the one preceding it will change into a tone 2. Okay, so this is the Mandarin tone Sandy. If a third tone follows a third tone, change that third tone into a second tone. But if that third tone is followed by tone 1, tone 2, or tone 4, just check it. But and then do that. That's it. So it's kind of, if I were to ask you which tone Sandy pattern looks more natural, 哪一个变法感觉好像比较自然? In the way that it just goes with the speaking habit. If you pronounce a disyllabic word, 总统, which syllable do you think is longer? 总统. Well, 总统 is probably not a good example. But at the in human speech, usually the last sound can be elongated because there's nothing after. You don't have to rush bringing out a second syllable, the last syllable, right? So the last syllable is usually longer. Actually, the other day I was just watching a musical, and then think about this. If you were to write lyrics for musicals, what type of words would you put in the last syllable? 好，如果我们要写一段歌词 the last syllable, if you want to sing the last syllable, like, what should the syllable structure be like? 你会在那个 syllable 的后面 if it's English, do you think you would use words like bees or power? Yeah, compare these words. And if you have to pick one last word for a musical, a piece of lyric, which word would you pick to make it easier to sing? So. 为什么是 so? Vowel. You can sing your vowels, right? So compared to bees, bees. And it turns out they just elongate the vowel. 唱音乐剧的时候，他们遇到这种歌词，他就把那个 vowel 唱得很长 ，bees. Yeah, and this is probably the worst. But power is power, all right? Power, it's okay. And then man, it's okay. So those sonorants, guys, this is the key thing. Those sonorants seems to be easier to sing, and they're more sonorant. They are louder. Okay, so that's the Mandarin. We have enough of Mandarin. And we were just going over Taiwanese tones, and you guys all know that I'm not going to test you on tone 4 and tone 8. These are the checked syllables. Checked syllables are the syllables. In Chinese, we call them 入声字. They are the syllables that ends with a P, T, K, or glottal stop. And I saw some of you actually wrote this down on your quiz. This is actually the very famous memory series. 就是大家都用这个记台语的声调. How do you say this? 沙、地、口、跨、狼、皮、dit. It means the clothes is short, your trouser is pretty wide, and the person is short, and your nose is straight. So as long as you can remember these 8 words, you can do the Taiwanese tones. And thank you for, I want to thank Sherry O from Zhongshan Daxue to show me this nice 4 syllables. Okay, and last time you practiced the tone Sandy, and this is the one we just did, and this is the tone Sandy. Although I'm not going to test you on these 2, you guys remember this, but this could be a little bit unclear to you right now still yet. So this is how it works. Can you do to fall? 下, 下. Can you feel that there's a consonant at the end of 下, 下? It feels like there could be a very weak K in there. 下. And then when you so let's try the non-native speaker. 下, 下, 下. Can you tell which tone it is? Is it the lower entering tone or the higher one? 下, 下, 下. It may be not clear, but when you put it in the context, like, oh, 下的. Now, when it's by itself, it's 下, 下, 下. And 下, 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 下的. So it started as a lower 3-1 checked syllable, and then when it's in a non-final position, in a phrase, 下的 is a phrase. When it's in a non-final position, you need to change the tone, and it's very easy. You just flip them. The higher one changes to a lower tone, and the lower tone changes to a higher tone. But that's just for your edification. I won't put it in the exam. Okay. I was going to talk about syllable contraction, but I'm a little worried that we might not have enough time. So, okay, I'll give me 10 minutes. I'll talk about this. So this is from your intro class. We talk about syllables. And in Chinese and in most of the Chinese languages, when I say Chinese languages, I mean all the Hakka, Cantonese, Taiwanese, Wuyu, or Wenzhouhua. These languages, the syllable structures are fairly easy. C, G, V, G, C is a thing you can remember. It's a template that you can remember. But what's the most important component of this syllable? 在中文里头，哪一个是最重要的？ V. Can you give me one word that just have a vowel? Ah. That's just one vowel without consonants or glides. This means glides. And for the glide that's before the vowel, we call it on glide. It's going on to the nucleus. And off glide it's coming after. It's after the vowel. So this is the on glide and this is the off glide. And sometimes we call this one a medial glide. So just remember the one that's before the vowel. It could be called medial glide or on glide. And this O stands for onset. This C stands for coda. Yes. So this is the consonant onset, and this is the consonant coda. What are the consonant codas in Mandarin? What kind of codas do we have in Mandarin? Is it an? When I ask that question, for the coda, it's actually just the consonant. So you're supposed to pronounce just the or part. You know what I'm talking about? When you say an, it's a vowel plus the nasal. So it's just and ingma. Do we have as coda in Mandarin? Can you do 琴, 文琪, 琴, 琴? Can you have M in the coda position for Mandarin? You're frowning. No, we can't. Yeah. But how about in Taiwanese? What sorts of coda is allowed in Taiwanese? Oh, I'm going to put that in our final. Please remember. Now tell me, what types of consonant can go in the coda position in a Taiwanese syllable? Can we have n and in the coda position? 藤, D is not. Any Taiwanese word that ends with the n? Huh? Dang sounds like ingma. Lang is still an ingma. Lang. Geng. Geng is actually this one. Geng. This is geng. 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 Why can I think of a Taiwanese word that ends with the n? Sim is a m. Bin. Bin. Bin na zai. Bin. 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 The final consonant is the n sound, right? Bin. So, and sim, what's the final consonant in sim? Sim, m. And shak, shak, shak. And jide, jit, jit, e, jit, jit, jit. What's the final consonant in jit? Where is your tongue? Jit, jit, t, jit, jit 是这样子. So you have t. What else? You should know, I was telling you the checked syllable have what sort of consonant at the end? Checked syllable 有哪些？那个 P, T, K 还有一个什么 glottal stop. So these, how many? 7 consonants are allowed as a coda in Taiwanese syllables. So that's why, okay. So in terms of the syllable structure, Taiwanese is more tolerant in terms of what can be in the coda position. And Taiwanese also have more tones. And we're not going to go into the details of the segments in Taiwanese. But luckily, it doesn't have that many retroflex. And that's the reason why your grandparents cannot do the 支持诗 because we don't have retroflex in Taiwanese. Okay, I think I'll stop here. Next time, we're going to talk about syllable contraction for real. I'm going to show you. I will post the answers for your syllable contraction on E3. But I'm going to show you there are several types of contraction. If you look at your number 17, 19, and 11, when you want to merge these two syllables together, what happened in this type? It looks like you're deleting something, right? So for number 19, what's deleted? I mean, what segment? 长 我们删掉了哪个音啊 ？You have 杂杂杂but you can say 脏脏 So you get rid of this h sound. How about this? This probably doesn't exist in your dialect. 李zap. You can say 李zapbut you can say 粒. I don't do that. I know my grandparents do shap 40细zapshap gi 42 shap gi. Yeah, for those who doesn't speak the language, it's okay. Yeah, just ask your grandparents probably have this. But what's happening here? You get rid of this t, right? Li zap. But when you say liap, 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 the ts is gone. How about this one? Shibo, shibo, sure, sure. So you get rid of that b sound. And then merge the rest. Okay, that's type 1. That's type 1. How about type 2? What's happening here? 来，你给它来，了来，了来 become 来. So you get rid of the, what did you get rid of? What do we get rid of? The glottal stop and the alveolar. And something's changed. There are some sort of alteration. 你把什么变成了什么? Hey, we're still on 25, guys. Guys, 25. What's happening to this O? It got changed into a U. Okay? Now, na a. But ane was not changed. Na a become nai. So what's changed? 什么被变掉了？被变了。A 变成了 E. Okay, nai. Okay, so guys, this is what we do in phonology. You find out what's changing and try to find a pattern. 现在我们看到 O 变成了 U sound. 看到 A 变成了 E sound. Let's continue. What's happening here? 查某人 became 早人. What's happening here? O become U. Okay, you're collecting more data. How about this one? If we use this one as an example. Bo e. So O become U. Okay, how about this one? 好惯是 I, 惯是 we, and this we is exclusive. So when I say, 美云阮要去看电影 When I say 阮要去看电影 does that include 美云? Guan is exclusive. Or I'm talking to you, but this we refer to us, not you. But how do you say 我们 we 阮跟烂都可以。烂等一下 I'm getting confused. 阮烂阮没有你讲阮还是我们呢？阮 make so we exclusive could be 阮或是阮 and then if you want to include the listener it's 烂这会起烂 so this is a very special language phenomenon that our first person plural have this exclusive and exclusive. In Mandarin, are there these two forms? 你说我们要去吃饭了 It's ambiguous. Are you inviting me or are you not inviting me? 我们去吃饭Ina 要去菜市场 Ina or if she says 阮 Ina 我们家的 Ina 要去 If an elderly use gun to refer to you, it means she already had taken you as an insider of the family. It's very important. It's very heartwarming when I heard my mother-in-law refer to me as 温玉文. That was a good day. Okay, so I'll post this. 我们家的 Okay, there are type 3 and type 4. I'll take a break after this. Guys, type 3. 即尊 become 近 So this is what I call a duel. 你们要那个厮杀，到底是要留意还是要留物？ Only one of us can be left. That's type 3. And then type 4 is oh my god. That's what I call oh my god. 火狼 by someone. 红 So you're getting rid of this. But why can't you change the o to a u like what you did in type 2? Remember in type 2? 你记不记得在 type 2的时候，好多这些母音全部都变成了一或乌。But in type 4, in this oh my god situation, why is it that you cannot have 和、我、o、Because why can't you just change this all to a w to a u sound? 黄 Because that's what syllables in type 2, what happened in type 2. So this is a tricky case we will discuss next time.